Alright, hey, what's going on, guys? This is Nathan Corneliuson, otherwise known as Fuyoko the Leader.
It's Skyraz the Dragon. I will be interviewing this son of a projectile weapon, and it will be a good time. Why did you write the interview in the middle of this?
So, this is the second part. I always pick a random page. So this is the second part. In the first part, I wrote the interview questions and I interviewed him. I still wrote the questions. We're using the same questions from the first interview, except now I'm answering them.
Mine's are green. I'm used to them being blue.
Stop it.
It's bad.
Just ask. Don't answer the questions. You already did that.
I'm gonna answer
Ask the questions.
once again. All right. All right. So to start off, what is your earliest gaming memory?
My earliest gaming memory is a plug-and-play at games no, not at games. It was Radica or something. It was a plug-and-play Genesis. My earliest gaming memory is when I was like 4 or 5, just at home playing Sonic the Hedgehog 1 on the TV and having a blast. And it stuck.
Alright. Have you ever spent days and nights playing one game? What was it? Now, this is, you explained it last video, but have you ever just binged a game stayed up all night playing this game, then played it all the next day?
Like, consecutively.
Yeah.
Back in the day, that game for me was... Well, I did that with a lot of my games, like Crash to Insanity or Sonic Heroes, but...
Sonic Heroes,
Stop.
Heroes.
The one that I have spent the most amount of time on was Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles. I used to be such a dirty little cheater. I used to put in debug mode once I had 100% the game with everybody, Sonic and Tails, Sonic, Knuckles, Tails. Once I had gotten all the Super Emeralds and gotten everybody's Hyper Forms, beaten Doomsday Zone. Once I had done absolutely everything I could, I just began playing debug mode like a little cheater, and it was so much fun, and it was great.
Right. What is an underrated console that you wished had more love? I feel like you've been preparing for this question.
The original Xbox.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Because so many people sweep it under the rug. I don't remember what the term is.
Just sweep it under the rug.
Okay, cool. Sweep it under the rug in favor of the PlayStation 2, which it's a good system, but it's not the god machine that everybody makes it out to be. And nostalgia has a lot to say. And I know that's a lot coming from Mr. 4-year-old playing Xbox over here. But I legitimately think that, sure, it didn't have nearly as many games, like as much support, because everybody from 2001 to 2011-ish was still making games for the PS2. Meanwhile, the Xbox was like 2001 to 2006 with Xbox Live, which was one of the biggest things about Xbox, which really solidified my love for it, even though we didn't really play it online. It was the fact that I knew that if we paid for this, we could play a game with anyone around the world, and the possibilities were endless. It just opened my eyes to so many things. Plus, it's really nice. It's a really nice piece of hardware, and it's really easily moddable. That's a different question.
I was going to say, it is a lot easier to mod than anything else.
Because it's pretty much just running on a modified version of Windows.
Yeah.
But I digress.
Even the Xbox One is just a modified version of Windows 10.
Pretty much. Anyway.
Just a little bit more expensive. Alright, next question. What is a console you want / are saving up for?
So, a console that I really want is... I have... No. No. I only have one at this point. It's the Sega Saturn. And that may sound really weird because in the States, the Sega Saturn was a flop. But I just love the arcade ports. You know, there's a lot of fun games like Burning Rangers, the Panzer Dragoon series, and then Sonic R. That I just really want to play, and that system like Duke Nukem 3D, you can still play that online. Super Bomberman R, no, that's for the Switch.
Yeah.
Saturn Bomberman. Why did I...
No, you can run Super Bomberman R on the Saturn. It'll run perfectly fine.
No, Saturn Bomberman. Not only can you play that with, I believe, up to 8 players, but that's another game that you can still play online today. And there's just so much potential for that system that nobody ever, gives it credit for.
Well, that's because, wasn't that around the same time the Super Nintendo came out and everybody was going to that instead? Or am I just wrong?
You absolute muppet! That was Genesis time!
That was Genesis. See, this is how much I don't know about Sega. I don't know.
That was 1990. The Sega Saturn came out in 1994 or 5 in the States, I believe.
Consult him, not me.
I'm the Sega kid.
The only things I know about Sega consoles are from him. I didn't even know that Sega consoles were a thing until I met him.
Didn't you think that PlayStation 2 is Nintendo?
No, when I was 6, I saw this kid who was playing a PSP, and I asked him, what Nintendo was that?
You're like a mom trying to connect to their kids, but only read on Wikipedia that the PlayStation 2 is a video game console.
I grew up in a Nintendo household, and so that's what I know. Well, that's what I knew. I know a lot of other stuff now.
Alright.
I swear that I don't think that the Xbox is just a discount GameCube, because when I was a kid, that's what I thought it was.
Where's Super Smash Bros. For Xbox?
Alright, I don't know if I should ask the crossed out questions.
Just do it, because I asked you.
Is mobile gaming casual trash law?
Oh, come on, you didn't do a funny voice. Wow,
is mobile gaming casual trash law?
So, I wrote that one because it's the easiest thing to make fun of. I mainly only play Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle and ports of console games, so the Oddworld games that were ported. Not Abe's Exodus or Abe's Odyssey, Munch's Odyssey and Stranger's Wrath, which, funnily enough, I have both for Xbox. But other than that, I don't really use emulators that much. I don't really play Cookie Clicker-esque games. Is Cookie Clicker on mobile? This is how much I don't know about
There's
it.
a lot of bootlegs of Cookie Clicker.
Okay.
If you want to play bootlegs, then play mobile games.
Oh yeah. Did the Android Google Play Store.
After Fire Emblem Heroes came out, there were so many clones of that game. It was ridiculous.
I am the clone from the Fire Emblem. Alright, thank you so much for playing my game. Alright, next.
What is the game you can't stand / hate with a burning passion?
Wait, I don't remember what it's called. I hate it so much that I forgot what it was called. I can't stand turn-based strategy games. Fire Emblem, I could never get into it. I can play turn-based RPGs just fine, but it's just something about the real-time strategy games that I just can't stand.
Two very different people about those. Some of my favorite games.
Yeah.
But, to each their own. Anyway.
Yeah, kind of like how you don't like God of War. Meanwhile, I really like God of War.
Yeah.
And I didn't just say RTS games just because you like RTS games.
No, yeah,
I legitimately can't sit through RTS games.
It fits your personality. I get it.
What's that supposed to mean?
You grew up with Sonic games.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough.
Real-time strategy doesn't really come simple to those of the fast blue blur.
Well, the thing is, I think of myself as a patient man. It's just something about real-time strategy games that is just like, I could never get into the Command and Conquer series, although that could be... Is that considered real-time strategy? Okay. I just couldn't get into the Command and Conquer series no matter how hard I tried. Like,
Fire Emblem's not, though. It's not real-time.
Really?
Yeah, it's not real-time. It's turn-based.
Oh, turn-based.
I think you mentioned that turn-based thing.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. Don't play Risk, then.
Yeah, no. Like, when you guys always play Risk...
I love Risk.
I always just sit out, because it's just like, I can't, I don't have the tolerance. Alright, next.
Alright, what is a gaming guilty pleasure of yours, if you say Sonic?
I can't say so. Oh, okay.
I don't care. You can say whatever you want. It's called a guilty pleasure for a reason.
So...
I said Star Fox Adventures, so...
I have played... So, I know this one isn't considered, like, the worst of the Mega Man X series, but it's considered subpar, so I'm using that for one of my gaming guilty pleasures, and then Sonic R, and then a third one...
Mighty Number 9.
No. My third one is actually Crash Bandicoot: The Wrath of Cortex, because that game is not very good, but I love it. That's because I didn't grow up with the original Crash Bandicoot trilogy. I grew up with Wrath of Cortex, Twin Sanity, and the GBA games. And so I cannot wait for the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy to come out on Switch.
Yeah, because you actually have one.
I'm sure you'll get one eventually.
So many people are like, they just assume that I have a Switch because I have every other Nintendo console. So they like talk to me like, oh yeah, I can let you borrow this game if you want. And I'm like, I don't have a Switch, and they like it legitimately shocks them. They stop talking for a bit.
Just.
Anyway, move on.
Sorry,
Your interview.
I never knew.
It's your interview, not mine. So.
It's okay. I interjected with stories in your interview. But no. Mega Man X5. I get a lot more enjoyment than Mega Man X4. And I know that I am probably going to get crucified for that. But it's just how I feel. I love the names of Guns N' Roses for the 8 Mavericks. I almost called them Robot Masters because we were talking about Mega Man, the classic series before. And, like the Gaia armor, it's gimmicky. Sure, you can't use any of your special weapons, but it's super powerful and it's really cool. And, it's just one of those games where you just sit back and go, I know what you were going for, but you didn't quite make the mark. It wasn't quite as good as Mega Man X4, and plus I like laughing at the bad translations.
It's always fun.
One of the games that I really want for the PlayStation 1 is Batman and Robin, the video game. Just to say that I've played it, because I own all 4 of the original quadrilogy on VHS. And so, I even have the novel of Batman Forever. Yeah, little did most people know that it not only had a comic book, but a novel. And I have both.
I knew about the comic book, not the novel.
And so, I was going to say another game that I want is both Mega Man Legends 1 and 2, but those aren't really gaming guilty pleasures because they're actually good games. But I digress. Anyway, before I go on to another tangent, let's continue.
Alright. I already know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway for the viewers. What console have you poured the most time into?
Original Xbox.
Saw that coming.
And the next question, original Xbox. Your next line is, have you ever modded a system or had a system modded? Yes.
I have the script here. This is what I get to say. you just took my line.
You said that you watched JoJo.
You're stealing my spotlight. I did watch JoJo. However, I get to say these. I want to say my thing.
Fine, say it.
Oh, you already said it. So there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just say it again because I think I forgot. Have you ever modded a system / had a system modded?
The only modded system I own is the original Xbox, and that thing is a frickin' trooper.
It's a wonder why you poured so much time into it.
No, I took it apart, and my friend Isaac and I cleaned the thing, fixed the disc tray, and that thing.
Yeah,
that thing was disgusting.
I think I remember it before you fixed it.
Yeah, it would make the most obnoxious.
Yeah.
Because literally, it was coated with 2 layers of dust. And that noise was the fan. And the thing is, I try to take care of my system. But that just happens over time.
It is an old console.
And the thing is, the more time I poured into it, the more heat that it would generate, and the more things would stick to it. And so we cleaned it up, we kind of refurbished it a bit, and I have never poured so much time into one console. The only other system I would say maybe is the...
Dreamcast?
No. Actually, I only have 5 games for the Dreamcast. That's Sonic Adventure 1, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Shuffle, Radio Rebel Boxing Round 2, because Michael Jackson, and Grinch, the video game. Don't ask me why. I don't know either.
Hear me, Mr. Grinch.
Get out.
You really are a
Okay, the only other console I would ever say that I poured that much time to would be the Game Boy Advance.
Oh, I should have seen that one coming too. You're the only person I know that owned a Game Boy Advanced Micro.
Yeah, I have a Game Boy Micro. I also have a Game Boy Light.
Another thing that I didn't know existed until I met you.
Or not Game Boy Light, Game Boy Pocket. Game Boy Lights are super rare.
Yeah, a little bit. I've just come across those.
So yeah. I think that's it.
Yeah? I'm hurt. Are you trying to possess the vacuum? Is that what you're doing there?
Alright, this has been Nathan Corneliuson, otherwise known as Fuyoko the Leader.
And Skyraz the Dragon. You scared your dog.
Good night.
What if they're watching it in the morning? Have you ever thought about that?
If it is your birthday while watching this...